The first dawn touches the sleeping king, illuminating the pale pink magma scar on his left hand, now fully healed. He wakes, not with the fatigue of battle, but with the full, 100% recovered strength of a ruler, muscles coiling as he stretches. Below, the Oasis is a picture of perfect order, a peaceful symphony written by Kong's law. Even the predators, the scar-eyed Allosaurus pack, must obey the new order. They are allowed to guard the cliffs, but never to hunt within this domain. This unlikely bond with Suko has become part of the morning, a reminder that even a king needs family. The patrol begins, his every step an assertion of dominance, regal and unhurried. The Parasaurolophus's instinctive fear has given way to respect. They no longer flee. They understand his presence now means safety. Compassion is not weakness. It is part of strength. He breaks a massive branch for the young Brachiosaurus. A true king cares for his weakest subjects. A nod between two leaders. A silent acknowledgement of power and boundaries, established with the broken-horned Triceratops. Beneath the roaring falls, the king finds a moment of refreshment, and his young apprentice, Suko, mimics his every move. This isn't just a sanctuary. It's the first home he has truly fought for and defended. Suko's innocence is a stark contrast to the brutal world they inhabit, something worth protecting. The weight of responsibility is heavy now. It's not just about the throne, but the future of all these lives. Time passes, and the delicate balance holds, an ecosystem functioning under the gaze of its titan. Upon his stone throne, Kong finally finds a moment of peace, but peace never lasts. A sudden, anxious chirp breaks the calm, the Parasaurolophus snapping their heads up. The king's senses are instantly triggered. Relaxation vanishes, replaced by high alert. The Allosaurus sentinels smell it first, the scent of invaders, the scent of damp rock and blood, a scent that does not belong here. Defensive instincts take over. The Triceratops herd forms a shield wall, ready to face whatever is coming. The air shatters with his short, steel-like roar, a clear command to all. Prepare.
Hide.
The jungle itself screams in protest as the ancient ferns shake and panic begins to spread. A protector's first command is to secure his family. He snarls at Suko. Hide. A nightmare of flesh and teeth steps from the shadows. Then a second, significantly larger than his sentinels. And then, the leader steps out. The charcoal black Alpha Giganotosaurus. Its three-clawed scar on its muzzle telling a story of brutality. Its roar a declaration of war. The king on his throne challenges the invader, beating his chest. A clear statement that there will be no retreat. But this new leader doesn't even look at him. Its arrogance comes from seeing everything else as food. They ignore the king, a fatal mistake. They charge the herd, beginning a massacre. The desperate courage of the hunted, the broken-horned Triceratops, chooses to fight rather than flee, to protect its own. Witnessing his subjects attacked, the king's rage ignites, leaping from his high ledge. Growl, whoa, this is not a hunt. This is war. A final moment of bravery. The broken-horned one lands a blow. Raw power meets hardened armor, but crack. In this fight, brutal jaws triumph. The death of the field guardian. A quick, merciless end. There is no escape for the meek. The slaughter spills over to the lake, turning the peaceful water red. His eyes are bloodshot. He arrived too late to save them all. But he will arrive in time to avenge them. The king's command was clear. The scar-eyed Allosaurus understood. It roared, and the sentinels, once conquered predators, now fight alongside him. The first punch carries the full weight of vengeance, a two-handed hammer blow, a message to the enemy, You targeted the wrong prey. Attacked by a titan, the Giga realizes this is no easy hunt. This is a battle for survival. A secondary battle erupts, loyal soldiers enforcing their king's law, attacking a foe far larger than themselves. But bravery is not always enough. The Giga's brute strength easily dispatches one guard. The scar-eyed leader holds on, leaping onto the Giga's back. It fights not just for territory, but from loyalty to its new king. The Alpha leader wastes no time. It sees the nuisance and decides to end the fight itself. The Alpha strikes, not to help its subordinate, but to eliminate the pest most efficiently. Crunch. The death of loyalty. The lead Allosaurus's neck snaps, its sacrifice discarded like trash. This roar is no longer a warning, a loss. It is a scream of loss and a vow for bloody retribution. Rage becomes pure power. Kong fells the first enemy, pinning it, but his eyes are locked on the Alpha. Surrounded, the predators begin to coordinate. Realizing this king is the true threat, the fight turns desperate, 3 against 1, and the first foe is not yet fully beaten. No mercy. Kong grabs the first invader's jaws, using raw, primal strength to rip it apart, a brutal warning. They attack at once, teeth sinking in from the flanks, trying to tear the king down. Blood has been drawn. From shoulder and rib, the king is wounded, but the pain only fuels his resolve. The enemy, high on the scent of blood, thinks victory is near. It bites into Kong's once injured left arm. It is a mistake. Kong focuses his fury on the second foe, smashing its head into the dirt with deliberate brutality. Thud, thud. The Alpha leader attacks from the blind spot, a precise bite aimed at the fighting king's back. The bite sinks deep, agonizing pain. The true one-on-one duel between Alphas has just begun. He uses the pain itself as a weapon, twisting, launching a counterpunch aimed directly at the 3-clawed scar. Struck in its old wound, the Alpha roars, forced to release. For the first time, it feels doubt, it feels hatred. The king stands, panting, blood dripping, ready for the final confrontation. But the fight isn't fair. The second enemy, though gravely injured, staggers back into the fray. Tactical intelligence surfaces. Kong knows he must eliminate the secondary threat before facing the leader. Capitalizing on the enemy's daze, a swift takedown, neutralizing the second Giga. The Alpha lunges, trying to end Kong while he's distracted. A warrior's reflex, Kong dodge rolls at the last second, making the leader bite at empty air. Wasting not 1 second, Kong turns, finishing the second enemy definitively with a fatal stomp to the throat. Only 2 remain, 2 Alphas, 2 rulers, charging at each other for the final claim on the Oasis. Strength against strength, every punch, every claw is a killing blow, pushing both to their limits. Wounded and clawed, Kong realizes muscle is not enough. He needs a weapon. He hefts a granite boulder. The leader charges, believing it has won. A boulder thrown with all remaining strength, the primitive weapon shatters the Giga's arrogance. Seizing the opportunity, Kong charges the stunned enemy, leaping onto its back, becoming the hunter. The Giga thrashes, slamming itself into the cliffside. Boom! But Kong holds fast. He takes the hit, his back slamming the rock, but he doesn't let go, his fists hammering the enemy's neck. In desperation, the Giga twists, a final attempt to use its most powerful, scarred weapon. On the brink of death, Kong grabs the enemy's jaws, beginning a brutal test of strength. Will against muscle, Kong strains, holding death mere inches from his own throat. And then, he doesn't just hold, he breaks, pouring all his fury into this one final move. Crack, crack, crack. the sound of splintering bone, gra, gra, a roar of victory as he literally rips his foe apart. Defeated and ruined, the Alpha leader falls from the ledge. The water turns red with the blood of the vanquished. A dead silence falls over the lake. Standing on the ledge, the victor gasps for air. Exhausted, wounded, but alive. The Oasis is safe, but the price of peace is a tragedy, a battlefield of corpses. The survivors look on. They are witnessing the cost of safety, the brutality of the king's law. He returns to the center, not as a guardian, but as a conqueror who defended his territory. He looks at his work, tired, but his roar confirms his undisputed rule. But the battle is not over. A final message must be sent. He drags the corpse of his enemy, an act not of cleaning, but of ritual. He drags the second Giga's corpse onto the first. He builds a monument, a new throne, not of stone, but of the bones of those who challenged him. And then, he steps up, standing atop the hill of corpses. He beats his bloody chest. Boom, boom. The sound of a victorious, dominant heart echoing across the oasis, drowning out the waterfall itself. Atop his gory pedestal, the king roars. The new law has been written in blood, and all will obey.